For this week's project, we are continuing to be inspired by our artist of the month, Henri Matisse, our artist from France. And if you remember, his paintings loved to have a window, especially ones that had a garden view. So I'm going to refresh your memory on what his paintings looked like. So you can see here, here's one of them. He loved bright colors and he loved to add a window. Here's another one. This one's a little bit tougher to make out what's going on because he used very little details and lots of brush strokes. But this is a window looking out onto a bay of water. And those boats that you see out there are sailboats. So those lines that you see going up are the masts of a sailboat. Here's another painting where you have one person taking a nap in bed, a few chairs, and then someone standing out on a balcony outside the window. And here's another one. This one's a little bit easier to tell what's going on outside. It is a tall tree outside of a window, and inside you can see some chairs, a heater, and some plants in a bowl. And this one is one of my favorites because you've got that beautiful pattern curtain, some fruit on the table in front, and a gorgeous palm tree outside the window. Love this one. So something we need to really think about is going back to this one. When things are inside, they are closer to you than the things that are outside. And so the things that are inside are going to look larger than what's outside thanks to something called perspective. And the perspective of the person on the bed looks a lot bigger than the person standing out onto the balcony. The person in bed probably isn't actually much larger than the person outside, but she looks larger because she is closer to you. So when you're making a piece of art, you have to remember that if something is closer to you, it will look much larger than the things that are further away from you. So our drawing project for this week is to create a picture where something is outside and is further away and a little bit smaller than something inside. So what I want you to do is I want you to start with drawing a rectangle on one side of your piece of paper. I'm using a Sharpie marker just so that you can see it really well in the camera. And I'm going to draw a rectangle on one side. Does not have to be a perfect rectangle, just do the best you can. This rectangle is going to be our window. And so outside the window, so really inside of our rectangle is the outside. And you are going to draw a scene that is happening outside the window. And all of this other space is going to be the inside. If you want to make some different artistic choices, maybe you want your window to be longer instead of tall, maybe you want to have two windows, you can absolutely make different artistic choices. But I'm going to start with just one rectangle for my one window. So I'm going to do my outside scene first. And I'm going to start by adding the ground that's outside. And you can get as creative as you want with what's going on outside your window. Maybe this house that we're drawing from is in the jungle and there's a tiger outside. Maybe this house is on the moon and you can see a space station outside. I don't know, completely up to you. But I'm going to draw a little winter scene outside of my window because it's cold today and there's snow on the ground. And so that's what's inspiring me right now. So I drew my line down here, which is the ground. Then I'm going to draw a tall tree. So I'm going to draw two lines reaching up towards the sky and then two letter V's. V, V. Those make the branches of my tree. That's my favorite way to draw a tree because it's super easy. Two lines and two V's. And right here in my little empty space, I'm going to make a little snowman. So I'm going to draw three circles on top of each other. Little triangle nose. Some dots for eyes, mouth, buttons. A couple of arms. If you are drawing along with me, feel free to pause this as often as you need because I know that sometimes I work fast and it's really hard to keep up with me, but I've been doing art for a really long time, which is why I move so fast. So if you need to pause it or rewind it, please do that because I don't want you to feel like I'm going way too fast for you. I'm gonna give my snowman a little hat. And hats are super easy because you can just draw one straight line with a little square on top. I'm gonna color that in. Good. So windows very often will have some sort of divider. Sometimes they have one line in the middle that is dividing the top and the bottom. Sometimes they have a line going up and to the side. You can make whatever choice you want for how your window is going to look. I'm going to do a line that goes up and down and side to side, horizontal and vertical. So here's one line going vertical. I'm just coloring it in and making it a nice thick line. And then I'm going to draw another one that is going horizontal. It's going to cut right across our snowman, but that's okay. All right, so that really helps make it look like it is a window. And if you want, you can add curtains on either side. Curtains, you would draw a straight line that goes longer than the window. And I'm going to draw two long rectangles. And you can add whatever pattern you want inside. Maybe I'll do some stripes. Okay, so now my window is done being drawn over here. I still haven't added color, but I finished drawing the window. And so now I'm going to decide what is inside my house. And remember, I drew my snowman and my tree fairly small because they're far away and they're outside. But inside is going to be much bigger. So you can choose to add anything that's inside your house, a couch, a chair, a TV, a person, anything that you want. I'm going to draw a fireplace. I'm going to draw nice and big on this side. I'm going to start by adding a long rectangle that goes right off my page, a line going up, a line going down, and then a little box where the fire goes, and then a little zigzag line for a fire. So you can see my fireplace is really big. It goes off my paper, it's so big, but then everything outside my window is small because it's further away. And that's all I'm going to do for my drawing part. Now all I have left to do is add color. So I'm going to color this in. I'm going to speed up the video so that you can see what it looks like at the end. Okay, here's my finished drawing. It's a little bit hard to see my wall color, but I colored my walls yellow, gave myself some green curtains, red brick fireplace, blue skies outside. So don't forget, yours might look very, very different from mine, and that is absolutely okay. The most important thing is that we're practicing the idea that things look smaller when they're farther away and bigger when they're closer to you. I hope you had fun making your drawing. I can't wait to see what you come up with, and I will see you all very soon.